Hello again. It's our first grade. Sorry, I almost called you second grade. First grade. All right, today we're going to finish up our sleeping bear picture. So you can see I have the paper from last time, and I also have a brown piece of paper. Now I am laying the brown piece of paper right at the end of the blanket, and so that there's no black showing at the bottom. So it's right up against the blanket and the bottom of the paper. Now we're going to want to keep it there while we draw this part. So this is going to be our bear, and because he's under the blanket, we're only going to see his head and his arm and a little bit of his back sticking out of the blanket. So I'm going to start by, now I'm using a black color pencil to draw because pencil won't show up very well for you to follow. So I'm going to come about like 2 inches down from the top. And I'm just going to draw kind of a wavy line. Now, attached to this line, I'm going to draw a bigger circle. So it kind of looks like a balloon going sideways. Okay, now I'm going to come down here at this part, right at the bottom of the circle. And I'm going to draw a line that goes up and curves. All right, so down here is going to be the bear's arm. So this is the top of the arm, and he's kind of laying with it beside his face. So under the circle again, out this way, I'm going to draw some claws for his feet. And then I'm going to curve up and back around. Now, if you want to make the feet a different way, you can. You could make them rounded. Okay, so now the bear's head is kind of sideways. So one of the ears is going to be up here, and then the other one's going to be over here, kind of going the other direction. So sometimes it helps if you turn your picture now this way for the next part. So you're drawing it straight up and down even though it's turned. So the next part is to draw, it's going to kind of look like the letter 8, not the letter 8, the number 8 on its side. So there's going to be like a loop here, but it doesn't close all the way. And then another loop here. So it doesn't come together in the middle. And then from there, I'm going to draw, right from this point, I'm going to draw 2 diagonal lines like such. And then instead of making it completely pointy, I'm going to kind of go around on each side down to the bottom. And then we're going to add a nose here. And then one of his eyes are going to be sleeping, but the other one's going to go open. Okay, so now the bear is drawn. We just have to do some coloring. So I have a brown, a white, and a black crayon that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to actually start with the eye, and I want to color this bigger circle with the white, and then the middle part with the black. And I'm going to use my brown. Maybe not. It's not going to show up very well. I'm trying to think how we can do this. All right, so while I think, I'm going to go over the sleeping eye with the black crayon. And I'm going to color in the nose black. Maybe we don't need to color that part. I don't know. I was trying to make it a different color. Let's see. Let me just try something. So if I use my white super duper lightly, I'm not hardly pushing on it at all, we can make this look like a little bit lighter brown, I think. Yep, I'm just hardly touching the paper. So if you do what I'm doing, just do it really gently. Yeah, that worked. So the white really lightly in that whole section makes it look a little bit different. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the ear, this little section of the ear. I'm going to color that real light with the white, and again over here, just really lightly. There we go, that looks good. And if you want to, down here at the claws, you could make those a little bit lighter brown too if you wanted to. All right, awesome. So now we just need to give our bear some fur. So I'm just going to take my black and I'm going to make some black lines just all over the brown fur. So I'm kind of following at least at the top, the way it would go around the eyes. Now, I'm not doing the same thing on each side. I'm just making lines. So this is called giving it texture. So we're making the bear look like he has fur. All right, so when you're all done making your lines, we're going to cut this out around the bear. Okay, but don't get rid of this paper because we need it for our other animal. Okay, so I'm going to get my scissors. And I'm going to start cutting out my bear carefully. So take your time when you're cutting, that way you don't like chop off an ear or something. Mr. Bear won't be happy if you cut his ears off. Okay, so there's my scrap. I'm going to keep that over here. Okay, so when you're finished cutting your bear out, you are going to glue him to the black paper, and you want it to meet up with the edge of the blanket and then really close to the bottom. All right, some glue on Mr. Bear. Oops. All right, he's so cute. All right. Anybody want to guess what the visiting animal is going to be? It's an animal that does not hibernate in the winter. And it's an animal that has fur and it can hop. Did you guess bunny rabbit? I hope so. Okay, so we're not going to be drawing the whole bunny rabbit. We basically are just going to draw his face peeking in at the cave. So I'm just laying my piece of brown paper here so I know how much room I have to draw the bunny. So I'm going to use my black color pencil again, and I'm just going to sketch out what the front of the bunny's head might look like. And then I'm going to do his big long, he's going to kind of have floppy ears. Inside of that ear and the inside of that ear. And then he'll have a football shaped eye. And he'll have a little nose. And he'll be peeking in on Mr. Bear. Okay, so when you have your little face sketched out, so mine kind of looks like kind of like an egg, but then I put these two floppy ears. So that's one ear. Here's the next ear, and then I just closed it up. And then I took and I drew a little line in each ear, because that's going to be like the inside of the bunny's ear, and it would be facing the bear. And so the bear hears the bunny, and that's why he opens an eye. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. And I'm just going to use some of my crayons again for my bunny. So I'm going to color his eye. Oops. This time it's just the corners that are white, and I'll just go over that spot with brown. So white around the edge, brown in the circle, and then black in the very middle, which I did with a colored pencil, but crayon's a little bit darker. And then I'm going to go over the nose again with the black crayon. And then I also have a pink crayon, so I'm going to just do the inside of the bunny's ears with that pink, like that. If you want to add some whiskers, you can. Bunnies do have whiskers. All right, so then when you're done coloring it, you need to cut it out. Again, take your time. Make sure you leave a little space between each ear so you can see that there's two ears there. Guess I should have said that when you were drawing it. And then when you have the bunny's face cut out, I'm going to bring back our big picture. Now he's going to be coming off the page a little bit. I want to cover up the white. So it looks like he's peeking in to the cave. And he woke the bear. Hopefully the bear won't be mad at him. Just gonna take a little glue. And stick him on. And then if there was anything else you wanted to add to your picture, you could, like I could put a tree right here closer that looks bigger. I would draw it bigger like this. Maybe this tree is right outside the cave, so it's bigger. I mean, it looks bigger because it's closer. So I'm just using some of the materials from the last lesson. Okay. So I don't know, like if you wanted something to be on the wall in the cave, like maybe he has a sign or a sign that says home sweet home or something like that, you could. Well, I hope you had fun making the bear picture, because I did. I just think he turned out really cute. And I really like the bunny sticking his head into the cave. Like, what are you doing, Mr. Bear? All right. So I will see you next time for a new art lesson. Bye for now.